Who's a good Vecna? Who's a good Vecna? This week on The Hapless Heroes.
Hello and welcome back to the Hapless Heroes podcast. My name is Dave and I will be your host and dungeon master for this evening. We are going to get hot. And we're going to start it by introing our cast the same way I always do. Starting on my right with Francesco as the fabulous Felix Fizzlebottom.
Just because I'm dying doesn't mean I still don't have a plan.
To his right, we have John as Lord Jarrell the Light.
Don't you quit on me, Felix. You've never quit anything in your life.
To his right, we have Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Oh my god, if Vecna's gonna be good, does that mean I get to be evil?
And to her right, we have Zach as Parrot of Lincoln Woods, and also pivotally, Pregnart.
I hope I did not underestimate the consequences of casting a 9th level spell.
Yeah, so about that.
Is there a spell that says hope? I hope that. I don't wish that.
And to his right, Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
Always at my service.
Last time on the Hapless Heroes.
I just wish that Vecna was good.
I'm not done with you yet. I'm gonna.
It worked. It's
Give
happening.
you kindness? Oh, I want.
He's becoming good. Do you see it?
What have you?
Are you good? Would you... Wait, I have a question. Would you kill a cat?
His mouth somewhat agape as he is starting to look around him, and his empty, hollow, undead eye sockets seem somehow to get wider, as though his orbital bones are like running away from each other in some sort of shock. What? What have I done?
Would you save a cat?
I think our problems are a little bigger than a cat.
Are you good? Oh, I don't feel so good.
You'll forgive me. The frame of reference, man. But I don't know, but I'm looking down at himself. I'm not what this is. What am I?
Well, this time you sound a lot like Nick Cage, I will say.
I'm having a good night, okay?
Yeah, you are. You're really good. Wait, is that what we spelled it?
But wait, I'm having a good night.
I hope so. Are you good?
Jarrell is going to use Divine Sense.
Vecna is
Vecna
still like
seems a little
looking at
disoriented.
his undead hands and his undead self and his, damn near destruction of the entire universe. and kind of at the frog, but mostly at, what hath I wrought?
Like, give Vecna a soul?
Like, where would I even put it?
Sorry, that was a disembodied voice acting question. Felix is actively dying and cannot be healed on account of the necrotic wound that I currently have.
Right.
So don't listen. If I'm offering commentary, it's literally just, it's from Fran. It's not from Felix. Felix can't speak right now.
Jarl is going to walk closer to Vecna. So after watching or hearing Pregnart's wish and watching Vecna respond this way, Divine Sense won't necessarily tell me his alignment, but detect evil and good should. So Jarl's going to use detect evil and good. And now, Fran, if you could help me out on this, there might be more in the book. It just says, know if
Guarantee
aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, undead, desecrated, or consecrated within 30 feet.
Detect evil and good. It says, for the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, if you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that is magically consecrated or desecrated. The spell can penetrate most barriers. It says nothing. Yeah, so it says nothing about like knowing what alignment they are. It will only tell you like what they are, like an aberration.
So that and Divine
elemental,
Sense
fey, fiend, or
would still tell me. It pretty much tell me the same thing as Divine Sense.
pretty much.
So I'm just gonna use Divine Sense then. He's still undead, correct?
I don't think anything changed him from undead. Like, he's still undead.
Okay.
Something has changed.
Yeah. Okay, so Jarl's looking at Felix. He can't be healed. I don't know so I can't use lay on hands. I don't know if cleansing touch would do anything. I don't know if it's a curse. It just seemed like a magical effect from Vecna. Which is no telling if Jarl would know that, but
There's a lot of things happening all at the same time right now.
yeah.
There's a lot happening, and we are really kind of playing with the edge of available mechanics right now.
Right. Because like I'm gonna automatically start failing death saves here. So like unless Vecna has it in his heart to save me, I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, that Felix might die here. It's not to say that there's not ways to bring me back or whatever, but that might happen. And I've prepared myself for the last few weeks for this eventuality that Felix might be dead. And so if that's the case, like we will address that when we address that. But there is also an active I have advantage on death saves, but I'm actively taking damage every 6 seconds effectively from this necrotic wound. So that's going to be essentially in 24 seconds, Felix is dead. Period.
All right. So, I mean, Jarl's looking at Felix, who clearly dying. I don't think there's anything he can really do about this with any of his spells. I mean, he has resistance. I mean, advantage on death saves and like all this other stuff. It doesn't seem like it's making a difference.
Nope. Constant damage every turn with no way to fix it. Unfortunately, makes that a little moot.
And as the DM, I see no particular reason that Vecna's toolkit has changed at all.
Right.
We're going to keep that wish very narrowly limited in that his alignment changed. And that's about it.
Okay. Jarl will turn to Vecna. What have you done? Will you help him?
Okay. What do you need me to do?
Can you undo what you did?
Unstab me?
Vecna, looking around, up, down, catches a glimpse of Afterthought, his dagger, maybe about 10, 15 feet off to the left. He stumbles, staggers over that way, kind of leaning over, his hands sort of out. He's still kind of looking at / through them, having an existential crisis while walking, because, he can multitask like that, over towards where his dagger lay. He leans down, picks it up from the ground, and holds it up with his 2 hands in front of his eyes, and if he had eyes in those hollow eye sockets, he might even be visibly repulsed by what he sees there. You can see him recoil a little. I don't even want to touch this. It's horrible. It's one of those things we wish we could disinvent. He throws it back to the ground. Would love to undo it. How?
Jarrell kind of still has his sword and shield up, but towards Vecna, but is looking backwards at Felix because, again, I don't know how many seconds he has left.
I have no attachment to that thing. Destroy it if you can. I don't know, maybe that'll do something.
Let me see. Hold on. How can we get rid of it? How can we get rid of the evil sword?
Dagger.
I don't know. Hit it with the good sword?
That's a very Jarrell thing to do. Yeah.
It's a very targeted suggestion.
I guess that Jarrell would take the Sword of Justice in order to save Felix's life, and would try to walk over to it and just stab down into it. So Holy Avenger against, what's it called?
Afterthought.
Afterthought. Evil Dagger.
It is a +2 dagger, it claims to be, and it's getting hit by a +3 sword. And we're going to roll some dice, and it's going to tell me that that's a 19, which, yeah, I like the look of that. Afterthought shatters into myriad pieces.
And I imagine like there's just this huge swell of power flying out of the Sword of Justice as it does this, and a good aligned weapon annihilates this evil aligned weapon.
The shockwave can not only be felt for miles, but in adjacent realities. There is like a 1 foot in diameter crater on the ground where the holy power of this thing preceding the sword, like the Sword of Justice doesn't even hit it. The holy power around it destroys Afterthought before the sword even hits it and blows this crater into the ground, rock flying away with pieces of the dagger.
And Jarrell staggers back.
The evil dagger of Vecna is destroyed, and it is no more.
Far away are all of the pieces.
Yay!
Some near, some far, and some wherever they are.
I
I
mean,
was going pieces of me.
Horus's perception level, right? So, like, some of them flew too far to be able to find and collect.
Yes.
Okay.
After this, Jarrell will run to Felix and try to use lay on hands for 1.
It depends. Is the necrotic wound still there and present on Felix?
Okay. First, yes, the necrotic wound is still there. Second, Boris, you can collect probably about 80% of the shards of that dagger. It would need some things filled in, but it could be reforged in some way.
Oh, Boris starts collecting pieces of the dagger then.
Can Paradil run over to Felix and try to administer a plus healing potion and maybe some holy water?
None
Can't
of
be healed.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
god damn it.
that is a bit of a caveat there to the whole necrotic wound, magic necrotic wound.
Right.
I don't think any simple magics or healing are going to really fix this. Again, I've made my peace with this. But I'll let everybody keep trying.
Have we made our peace with it is really the question.
It's okay. I mean, if I need to have a moment to go through this, to go through the motions of dying, I will. And I will take that moment because I am Felix after all.
I mean, I don't know how many more seconds we have.
I don't think you have many more. I mean, it depends. I don't know. Do you want to try to interact with the unconscious Felix in any other way?
Again, Jarrell's just kind of holding him. I would expend spell slots to try to, if you want me to. I would expend cleansing touch. I would expend, again, one lay on hands to see if it works, and then cleansing touch, and then one lay on hands. Like, I would be willing. I think Jarrell would try everything within his power.
So I guess, like, go through it. What are you trying? What are you doing? One at a time, you know?
Let's see. Did I use Aura of Life? I think that one's currently active. I can't remember. Nope, I couldn't have. That's 5th level. Oh, no, that's 4th level. I don't think I have the stuff for Raise the Dead. So that would be the
I have an idea, but it's gross. Okay, you know what? Boris walks over from collecting the pieces of dagger. There are no pieces of dagger in her hands. I don't know if nobody saw her doing it. She's not mentioning it. They're in her sword pocket with the other evil sword she's already carrying.
Just two
Same pocket.
evil weapons.
I have the copy of your good, right? The evil version of your sword. I still have that in a pocket. So I'm just collecting the knife bits. It's my evil sword pocket. But she walks over, twirling her dagger in her hand, and says, I have an idea, but it's kind of gross. And points her dagger at the wound.
Would it be doing more harm than good?
I mean, is more harm really a thing at this point?
Yes? So yeah, Jarrell's gonna use Cleansing Touch and one more Lay on Hands to see if that does anything. Cleansing Touch, what that does is, it as an action I can end one spell on me or another creature willing by touch. That's all it says for that, but I will try.
Okay.
And then I'll use another Lay on Hands after that.
I'm gonna have to roll some dice here. Times like this, I curse having a desk man. Really good dice rolling noises.
I can still hear him.
I can't remember if we described where Felix was stabbed.
I don't think we did. I think I never really described a location. Probably in the abdomen, my guess is.
Yeah. The wound, we will say, that is on Felix's left side, if he was stabbed by someone right-handed, closes.
Okay. And
it goes from a blackened, festering thing to suddenly it fades away and closes and becomes just regular skin.
Oh, okay. And then
Felix
do I
is
heal him for one?
Unconscious and breathing.
Oh, okay.
Well, yes. You lay on hands. His wound is closed. He is unconscious and breathing.
Okay. Jarrell will just kind of let him lay there for a little bit and watch him. It doesn't seem like he's dying.
Good. I was not ready to do surgery.
Felix's breathing is labored, and you can see that, like, while he's unconscious, right? Like, his form, because he is a changeling after all, starts shifting a lot. Like he starts changing shapes, changing looks, like just things about his appearance continue to like shift. Like it's almost like a kaleidoscope of characters. People we've encountered before in the past, people you've never seen before in your life, all very small folk. But then his body also starts to change dimensions where it actually grows like medium, like humanoid sized, like human sized.
So imagine
And
we
then
see
back
like
to small.
Kip, we see like Kip, and we see like
Yep.
all the different people that we've all.
He's shifting through all of the different like people that he's seen before.
What, Von Rattling beef?
Captain Stinky Von Rattling Beef. Son
Does
of
he
a
become
different Von
us at
Rattling
any
Beef.
point? Are we looking at copies of ourselves in this process?
Yes, actually, at times, yes.
What's a weird one that maybe is glanced over?
that
That
he's
we need to,
Spanx? That he is Spanx for a second?
Oh, one that's half pregnant and half to do is he got caught in the middle of a shift. Both halves are bottoms.
Tuvix. Is Tuvix one of them?
Who is Tuvix?
That's a deep cut for our Star Trek Voyager fans.
No, not. No, because he hasn't watched Star Trek Voyager. Anyways,
By the way, Janeway, that was murder. Okay, for the Tuvix fans out there, Janeway murdered Tuvix. Clean cut.
So anyway, Felix's forms continue to shift until eventually they settle back on the gnome that you knew. Or no, I meant no. And he sits up.
Felix, are you all right?
Felix looks up at you and says, Felix isn't home anymore.
Jarrell will use divine sense. As he's very close to. Now, I do think we've always kind of glossed over the fact that whenever Jarrell does divine sense, it would technically tell him that Felix is right there and undead.
Yeah, I guess. I guess Felix has been technically undead, I guess, for a while.
About
so
160 years-ish?
Give
Mom,
or take.
Dad, I'm dead.
We know. You were very obvious about it.
But I guess, to answer your question, Jarrell, there are two undead in your presence.
Fantastic. And
Vecna and Felix.
now, okay, yeah, I forget. It doesn't tell me that they're gods. It doesn't like it. Is it a fiend or a celestial or consecrated or desecrated?
Undead.
Just undead. Fantastic.
Felix will then look over to Vecna and say, Boy, you've really lost your touch, old man. Can't even say the word kill now? What, because some frog wished you to be good? I couldn't have planned this better if I had done so from the beginning.
Yeah, but you see, you didn't.
No, but you know what they say about the best laid plans is that sometimes a group of idiots come together and do something that no good plan could ever do. And that's improvise my success. And as Felix now stands to his feet, he starts to grow to the size of a human. And then he continues to grow. And then he continues to grow.
Ew.
Until he's roughly about
He's a grower, not a shower.
15 feet tall. The robes that he was wearing that are all bloodied and tattered kind of grow with him, and they remain as bloodied and tattered as they were before.
Shit.
And then his skin begins to wither.
This seems good.
Several
seems not ominous.
stones appear and start floating around his head. His face rots away to nothing more than some wrinkled flesh wrapped around a skull.
I take that back. This seems bad.
His rod of the Pact Keeper begins to change shape from just a small, almost like a wand, to be honest with you, just a little thicker. Now it turns into almost a scepter. This dark green jewel.
Green jewel?
Green jewel.
Sits at the top of it, and it is crowned by these metal and golden pincers. You can see almost like these insect-like or scorpion-like legs attached to that are sort of crowning this this jewel. And he says again, "Me and Felix, you see, we had a deal. Your friend met his untimely demise. Oh, poor Felix, rest in peace. Long may he, whatever. He was always on borrowed time. Time that I gracefully bestowed upon him to perform one singular purpose, to lead me here today. I am Lilac, the Shadow King."
Like the flower?
No, not like the flower.
Lilac?
And you've done all the hard work for me, friends. It's been a pleasure to be along for the ride, watching all of the things that have happened, and here we are now. Vecna stands before me, a shell of his former self. You, he looks at Vecna, you will be a fine addition to my collection. And Boris, you notice these stones that are floating around his head. They look similar because your perception is super high. These stones are very similar to the one that's floating around Quinn's head right now. But inside of each of these stones, it almost looks like there's something there's something moving around inside of it. And I would like everyone to roll initiative, motherfuckers. That's right.
That's just
right.
about to say that I shoot one of them.
That's right.
Shit.
It's a DM swap. It's a DM swap mid combat. You didn't see that
Hot
coming.
swapped. You just hot swapped DMs?
You didn't see that coming. No, it's not that coming.
Flipadelphia.
2 seconds earlier, I should have said I shot one.
I gotta say, I did not see that coming.
Is Zero here then?
No.
No. Good Vecna is here.
We need to take. Oh, you're gonna be good Vecna. Got it. Okay, I'm following.
We have
What do you
Nick
mean
Cage.
going to be? Have been. I think.
Oh, right. You have been this entire session. That is true.
I need to pull up some notepads. Oh God.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
I gotta scale this character sheet here, huh?
I also
Do
still
you?
haven't noted that I can't heal,
You
right?
probably
Because
can.
I had been stabbed with one of those things.
Did you
too,
not
and
pass that? Did you
I
not
passed-
pass that save?
I did pass the save, so I'm not
Then you
taking
are
damage
fine.
anymore. So
no, you
I
can
heal
heal.
again?
Yes, you can.
I can
you
be
can be
healed
healed.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't erase the one line.
This is fucked up. I feel bamboozled. But also, I feel thoroughly
Never
monkey
trusted
clawed.
that Felix. I never trusted him
Oh, Felix was
Very-
fine.
for
Listen,
6.5
very-
years.
It wasn't
Thoroughly
Felix.
monkey clawed.
Well, Felix
Monkey
did
pod?
make the deal.
Monkey pod.
Monkey.
Yeah.
I feel thoroughly monkey pod.
Monkey pod.
And I'm just going to say this for you and for our audience. When the most evil thing in existence suddenly becomes good, you have a vacuum.
Right.
You might call it a vacuum.
Yes, in this case, it was a
A
vacuum.
That sounds gross.
Something
I don't like that.
something
That really sucks.
must always take that place. That space does not remain unoccupied for long in this.
Or Larl occupied.
Then there would never be sequels.
It gave me
Love that.
energy.
Am I rolling for Dedu? Are we splitting?
We're gonna
the
do
Dedu,
let's do that thing
Pregnart?
again. Let's do because Pregnart is also suffering some drawbacks, which we will address very shortly.
Okay. Is Pregnart going to get his own spot, or are Dedu and
We're doing the same thing you guys did last time.
sharing it? Okay.
Sharing it. Because you're gonna probably have to help your buddy out because I think among other things
Yeah.
his strength was just reduced to 3.
Yep.
Yes. And also, any spell I cast, I'm going to take 1d10 necrotic damage for every level of that spell.
Better make it worth it, Pregnart.
Yep.
Better make it worth it.
Well, Dedu has some big guns too that he hasn't gotten to use yet.
I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm going to keep the initiative rolls in for the audience because I can't believe I'm saying this in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, but Vecna, what is your initiative?
16.
Also, what's this dude's name? Larlock? Or
Larlock.
Larlock.
Got it.
Larloch.
Lilac.
It's the H. Ugh.
Larlock.
In green room.
Larlock.
Lilac.
Lilac.
For all of you,
Lulu.
for all of you here, this be a bit what he looks like.
Oh no.
The prettiest flower.
Oh, I like
Oh.
the little lights around his head.
Yeah, right.
Well,
He
that's
is a
what,
pretty
that's what's floating
flower.
around him.
Ooh, and a very interesting cod piece, I gotta say.
It's very eye-catching.
Yeah, very intricately designed cod piece. Always
Well,
respectable. in
it
a
almost
villain.
looks like an eye itself.
Anyhow, Quinn, what's your initiative?
My 17.
Boris?
20.
Paradil?
Hang on a second. I had 17 for Pregnart and 14 for Paradil.
14 for Paradil. Jarrell?
10 for Jarrell and 19 for Dedu puts us at 18.
18. Split the difference. It's such a weird way to do it, but I kind of like it because we made it up ourselves. Take that, Wizards of the Coast. And our buddy Larlock. Let's see what we got. So after tailing all this up, it's my pleasure to say that our buddy Larlock gets to go first.
Fantastic.
Ooh.
So let's just jump right into it, friends. What do you say?
I'm like the present.
As I said, it seems as though Felix isn't home anymore, and something else terrible has taken his place. His patron, who he made the deal with, back in Legradex. Although to be fair, it was always borrowed time. But it is Larlock, the Shadow King, and you are now facing off against him in Vecna's Twisted Arena here. So first, I would like to say, obviously we're all a bit spent here, so it's gonna be tough. But just do what you gotta do. Larlock has his own plan, is all I'm going to say, and so he's going to start off. And let me just make sure that I have this right here, because I did look at this character sheet before. But I just want to make sure that I'm not missing something important here when I do what I'm about to do.
Don't forget any legendary resistances.
Oh no, I will not forget those. I promise. Wonderful. Okay. Hey Vecna, you're still undead, correct?
Vecna remains undead.
Hey,
Fantastic.
Vecna. Someone's calling my name.
Larlock will take his action to use his wonderful ability here, Devastate Undead. He raises a small mace above his head, and a wave of necrotic energy sweeps the area. in front of Felix, where Felix once stood and where he stands now, straight towards Vecna. You must make Vecna a DC 26 Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I guess Vecna gets +3 from Jarrell and advantage. Is it a spell?
It's not a spell. It is an action.
Okay. If it's a spell, he gets advantage. If not, he just gets +3, I think.
Okay, so that. So DC 26, you said, with advantage.
Con save. You are making. Well, I mean, it's a magical effect, but it is not a spell.
Right.
Okay.
Hell, I'll give you advantage just because I kept reading this, and it does say that an undead that fails this save dies instantly, which feels kind of cheap. So we'll just turn that into a bunch of damage.
Between that and Vecna does have a necrotic damage resistance.
Right.
So it would only be half dead.
Instant death.
It's only mostly dead. He does not pass.
So what this does say now, and I'm going to preface this by saying that I'm sure as this ability was written, it was meant for like your typical undead and not gods. But it does say that any undead that does not succeed dies instantly. However, Vecna, being the god he is, will be half dead. Please lose half of your HP rounded up.
All right, that's fair.
Let's just hope he doesn't do that again.
Oh shit.
It's rounded up every time, so it won't be able to, you know what I mean? That's my way of balancing this a little bit so that, Vecna gets to do something in this fight besides just die instantly. After
So this is like carbon. What is it? What's the science term where it's like half the half.
Yes,
Half-life.
exactly.
Yeah, half-life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna say, let's see, about. We'll start with 150. We're down to 75.
Wonderful.
I'm just having to write a character sheet on the fly for this guy. 'Cause I can't use a CR 26 as PC. That won't work. Now, on the other side of this, I'm keeping the whole toolkit.
Yes, okay. At that point, Larlock will then fly 30 feet into the air.
Fantastic.
And he'll just kind of stand there and just start laughing, be like, "If you know what's good for you, friends, you'll just let me have this one out with old buddy Vecna here."
And then what happens to us?
I don't know, you figure it out. I'm done coming up with plans for your sorry asses.
But Vecna is good now.
Which just makes it all the more easier for me to finally remove his stain on all of existence. Isn't that what we all wanted to begin with? Isn't this what
No.
you wanted?
No, I was very clear on what I wanted.
Boris, it is now your turn.
Oh. I have a bad idea.
Sounds like
And
a
I'm
good
Boris,
idea.
so I'm gonna do it. So Boris grabs the edges of her cape and flies straight up after Larlock. But continues slightly past 30 feet because she can.
Are you just doing like the grabbing the edges and flying? You're not doing the bat thing, right?
That's correct. I am not being
Okay.
a bat. I'm grabbing the edges and flying. And when
Okay.
I get up to the top of my flight distance, I am going to try to grab one of the pretty floating rocks around Larlock's head.
Oh, I see.
Or multiple if I can reach multiple, but like I'm starting with one. I'm going to try to steal a rock.
They're like spinning around his head, so you kind of have to try to just grab one, I guess,
Yeah.
and see what happens.
Yeah,
I
that's what
don't
I'm
know
going for.
if I have ever tried to resolve a character trying to steal an Ioun stone off of somebody, as they are, attuned and bound to that person and like do stuff.
I'm just seeing like her hold up a
report.
bag of holding as they're flying in a circle and just going choop, 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 choop into the bag.
Oh, I should have just
I-
opened a pocket.
I think that this is a fun idea, and so I will let you roll some dice for this.
Yeah.
So why don't we say, make me a sleight of hand check. I will also roll something over here in secret.
Okay, I can guarantee. Well, I can't guarantee that's going to be a fail, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be a fail. It would be a 22, but I can use Stroke of Luck. Right? Because that's an ability check.
How badly do you want to succeed here? And,
so badly.
and what do you think success looks like here?
Success looks like stealing one of these rocks.
One of these rocks that are magically floated and attached to him around his head?
Yeah.
Okay. That don't seem to
Anyway.
be anchored by anything besides magic.
So yeah,
So-
I grab one. I rolled a 22. Does that fail?
As you go to try to snatch one, right? I mean, your arc is perfect, right? Like you have your whole approach and everything. Like you figured it out, right? I mean, you're able to actually get your hands on one. But as you're trying to wrap your hand around one, you see one of the stones just suddenly flashes this like red light in your eyes, and Larlax snaps to attention. Like he knew this was coming, and like you can almost feel as you grab onto it, the inertia of these things spinning around his head actually takes you for a bit of a spin, and then he kind of just gives you a little kick and kicks you off of him, and you start plummeting to the ground. You
I
check
still
your
holding
hand.
the rock.
You check your hand. There is no rock in your hand. It remains firmly anchored and spinning above his head.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that counts as my action.
Got any move left?
I don't have
That
any.
was
Well,
about 30 feet.
he was
he's
30 feet, but like if he flew 30 feet into the air, I can move 40 with my cape. But like I would have needed that
You would
extra
have-
10 feet to have gotten up to like be close
He
enough.
is
to have
15
go
feet
for the-
tall.
Yeah,
That's
right.
true.
So like I feel like 40 feet, I was close enough to launch for one of the rocks. But yeah, so no, I'm out of move speed.
So you're-
but, like
so
I
you're
do
still
have my
kinda, like,
bonus.
Yeah, you're still kind of like next to him-ish, right? I mean, he's just kind of like kicked you away from him, like nothing like too far, and you know.
If I'm not holding my cape, then I'm falling though. So I do grab
You
my
are falling.
cape.
And at least try
And
to
like I
level
guess
out.
like stabilize and level myself out. I don't go back to the ground, but I'm not so close that he can like grab me if he kicked me away then. So yeah, I stabilize in the air.
Sounds wonderful. So you're still pretty close to him, because again, this is all happening very quickly. You're not like too far out of range.
Yeah.
So is that anything else on your turn there?
I'm pretty sure that counts as like everything I can possibly do.
Okay, wonderful. At the end of your turn, Larlac will use a legendary action and attempt to use a frightening gaze on you, because you are not in 30 feet of Jarrell. So you can be frightened, at least for this brief moment.
Wait, isn't he 30 feet in the air?
30 feet in the air, and he's 15 feet tall. She had to like get above.
And so
right?
she's falling down.
She's
But
40 feet in the air. She
Jarrell-
moved her full 40 feet. So the
Oh.
amount of time that she has to fall is like almost none right now. She's in the process of almost falling, and she grabbed her cape, but she's still like 40 feet in the air.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, what am I rolling for a save for that?
You are going to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I'm proficient with those. 23?
You needed a 26.
Damn
So,
it.
now I wonder what happens as you get towards the ground if suddenly the frightened condition just like stops affecting you, because you're gonna enter Jarrell's aura again. But for this brief moment in time,
You're terrified.
you are frightened of Larlac for the next minute until something removes that from you.
How? Oh, yeah, okay, my turn's already over, so never mind. Good.
Okay,
Actually, I'm glad I'm out of actions right now.
Dave, I did it. I managed to frighten somebody. All right. So now we're moving on to the combined Dedu Pregnart turn.
Dedu would pick up Pregnart, who seems like he's like very weak on the ground, fly in the opposite direction and cast meteor swarm on the area, just the 40 whatever, just the area that what's his name,
Larlock.
Larlock is in. Yeah.
Okay.
So not including
Boris in the air. Okay, it's gonna be tough. She's close. And it's not like the meteor swarm is not going to somehow impact the ground after. So, but I feel like, okay, he's 30 feet in the air directly above you. And if you think about like where Felix was, he was kind of in the middle of all of you. So, read me the spell, please.
Blazing orbs of fire plummet to the ground at 4 different points you can see within range. Each creature in a 40-foot radius sphere centered on each point you choose must make a dexterity saving throw. The sphere spreads around corners.
So because he's in the air, I can't go through, like, just through him specifically?
I mean, I guess you could target the point on the ground that is directly below him, which is what all of you are occupying, and hope that they hit him on the way down.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do. I thought that I could just target him specifically.
It does say.
Yeah, it does say to the ground.
Can it be the ground on the other side of him, away from us, like 40 feet past us, but at like such an angle that it goes through him?
Because it kind of depends on where the meteors just suddenly appear from, right? That's really the question here. It doesn't necessarily indicate the origin.
It says each creature in a 40-foot range centered on each point you choose. It's implied, but not specifically stated that it has to be on the ground.
It's coming straight down.
Yeah.
So, like, if you put it all below him, they could potentially all impact him, you know?
But they would get us too.
Here's the other part. A creature in the area of more than one fiery burst is affected only once, which means you're only getting a quarter of the effectiveness of the spell on it.
Okay. So that instead, Dedu would fly over to Jarrell and cast Fly on Jarrell?
That's an idea. Sure.
So Jarrell can now fly.
And now, Pregnart, I would like to just quickly resolve the remainder of the ill effects of casting Wish and having it resolve.
Yes.
So, I know your strength is reduced to 3. Can you remind us again what the rest of that stuff is? I believe that there's some other things you have to like roll to see like how long that reduction lasts for. I believe.
So my strength is now 3. I have to roll 2d4, and that is the number of days that my strength will be reduced to 3.
Gotcha. And then the other ill effect is that you take necrotic damage when you cast a spell, and it's essentially a number of d6 equal to the spell's level. Correct? Or is it d10s?
Yes. So yeah, that was going to be my question. Since Dedu and Pregnart are acting as a combo, are we just treating John's spells as John's
those
spells?
Are his. Yeah, you're not casting those. It's just that only one of you gets to essentially cast one, because we have many level 20 spellcasters here, and we've already seen shit got weird. So this was our way to sort of balance that and also make it a little easier for you guys to play 2 characters, so you could just decide on who wants to take the action, because it's a little bit easier to manage that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it felt fair because of the party size to make sure that we were well equipped with a few extra hands on deck to deal with, the capital T threats.
Right. Yeah. So my strength is 3. I just rolled. That's going to be 5 days. It says for each of those days that you spend resting and doing nothing more than light activity, your remaining recovery time decreases by 2 days.
Okay, so obviously not a very restful time right now.
Right.
But any other negative
this isn't
impacts to be aware of?
increasing the recovery time. And yeah, I take 1d10 necrotic damage per level of a spell that I might cast. And do you want me to roll for the chance of
yes.
casting Wish?
I'm going to say this. Roll a d100, right? So that's a d10 and then the 100-sided one, right? And then if it is essentially 1 through 33, You will never be able to wish for anything ever again, ever in Pregnant's life. And if it's not that number, then
75.
Nice.
Okay. So the next time you have a 9th level spell slot available to you, you could technically
I can do this again.
cast Wish again.
Mhm.
But I don't believe you have any other 9th level spell slots. I think you have just
No,
the
friend,
one.
I only have one 9th level spell slot.
That's what I thought. That's wonderful and very convenient.
Yeah. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
And yeah, I think that's all the consequences that I may endure.
Thank you. I think that wraps it up for the two of you.
It depends. How far away was Dedu from Jarrell?
You would have been able to move within 30 feet of him. You guys were kind of like you were flying around like the pillars and trying to stay within range of him.
Yeah.
In fact, Dave, if you still have that drawing of the battlefields that you had taken prior, can you just like snap a photo of that or whatever and just message it to me so that I could just get a lay of the land?
Because encumbered Dedu can fly, or he can fly at 50 feet. So
if you are well within range of Jarrell's aura, if that's what you're trying to be.
I'd like to touch Jarrell and then get 20 feet behind a pillar again, like we did before. Just for cover.
Yeah, there's a pillar right there actually, so you might be able to because they're all kind of standing near one because that's where Felix was. So you should be able to just move to the other side of that if you want. But again, Larlock is looking down at all of you.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're gonna be hidden for very long.
Right. And I'm not hiding. I'm just taking cover.
Okay. We good?
Yep.
Okay. So that's you guys. Quinn, how are you reacting to this sudden change of Felix?
Yeah. Certainly sad that my friend is not actually my friend. However,
well, he was your friend. It's just he's not he's not your friend anymore.
Okay.
He was your friend.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I think I'm just gonna react this round. So it's gonna be super quick. I'm gonna cast Blink on myself, which allows me basically to teleport. So at the end of every round, I roll a d20. On a roll 11 or higher, I vanish. So basically, I have a 50-50 shot of vanishing or not vanishing. If I vanish, I end up on the ethereal plane for the duration of the turn. So then at the beginning of my next turn, I can return to an unoccupied space within 10 feet of where I started.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to cast Blink. I'm going to roll my dice because I'm only going to do that as my only action. If I fail, I'm going to run. Shit. I rolled a 10. So I'm going to
not run this turn.
Why not?
Well, I'm just.
I'm not going to vanish this turn, but I'm certainly going to run.
You can't run away to the ethereal plane.
Well, I'm gonna run. Am I close to Jarrell? I don't remember where I ended up. Kind of in the.
I believe so. If I look at this handy dandy sheet here, yes.
I think I usually stay pretty close to Jarrell.
You're right. You're right there.
I'm just gonna scooch a little bit closer.
Okay.
And that's my turn. I'm gonna just hold off on spending anything else.
That sounds good. I'm going to save my legendary action for someone else, and that someone else might be Vecna. It's your turn.
Of course it is. All right. So, we are going to cast Globe of Invulnerability. An immobile, faintly shimmering barrier springs into existence in a 10-foot radius around you and remains for the duration. Concentration up to 1 minute. Any spell of 5th level or lower cast from outside the barrier can't affect creatures or objects within it, blah, blah, blah.
That sounds really nice, and it would be really nice if you could cast that. If I weren't about to cast, let's see, why don't we say Counterspell?
All right.
What level is that spell?
This is a 6th level Abjuration.
Wonderful. I will cast it at 6th level. And counter your spell. And then Larlock will say, how does it feel to see your magic be countered for once?
Hey, guys! He looks around at everybody on the ground. And then over at Jarrell. You know what would be really great right now? My dagger!
You told them to destroy it. Like I said, a bunch of idiots. Anything else, Vecna?
Well, let's see. Since you were pretty near me at the time, I think I can just go straight up if I fly upwards toward you.
You can fly too, yeah.
All right. But, well, what we're going to do is... 20 feet or 30 feet ain't that much to fall. As a bonus action, we're going to do Vile Teleport. Vecna teleports along with any equipment he's wearing or carrying up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space he can see. So he's going 30 feet directly towards you. And he will teleport to that space, which is 30 feet above the ground. He can cause each creature of his choice within 15 feet of his destination, so that would be you. 3d6 psychic damage.
Uh-huh.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 6. So that's 15 psychic damage.
He will take all of it.
Good. I regain 80 HP. I'm back to full before I start to fall.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Interesting.
This is going to be a real fun. Anything else, Vecna?
No, because I can't use my move from here. Because I can't actually fly, I could only cast it on myself. And I don't have an action to do that.
Wonderful.
So, no, I have no other thing to do.
And you teleported how close to Larlock now?
Well, I am... let's see, you're 30 feet above the ground, so I am at your feet, essentially.
Oh, that's wonderful. I really love to hear that. So let me just quickly look something up. Make sure I get this right.
See, if I were smart, I would have only gone 20 feet up, but...
Oh, this is great. Hey, Vecna.
Yeah.
At the end of your turn, I will use my legendary action to cast a spell.
All right.
And I will attempt to cast Feeble Mind.
You have advantage
On
in
you.
+3. Because it's a spell.
You're not skipping my turn, are you?
No, this is the end of Vecna's turn.
Okay.
That I'm doing this as a legendary action. I guess, yeah, you are within 30 feet because you're at my feet, so you would have advantage in this save because it is a spell. But I am casting Feeble Mind on you, so you will need to make me a... Where's the save?
Probably wisdom, right?
Intelligence save.
Oh, okay.
And you will also take 4d6 psychic damage. You just will.
Okay.
Period.
You have advantage in +3.
Is it possible to take a reaction to that legendary action?
I am casting a spell. And you
All
have
right.
not used your reaction yet, I guess. so.
Good. Dread counter spell. What level is that spell?
8th level.
Okay, so let's see. If the spell is 5th level or higher, I have to make an intelligence check, DC 10 plus the spell's level. So 18.
DC 18.
All right, that's fine. So I got +6 intelligence. Oh yeah, we pass on that. So it's 18 on the die +6.
Nice.
A success. The spell fails and has no effect. Whatever the spell's level, the caster takes 3d6 psychic damage if the spell fails.
Okay.
This battle between gods is pretty cool.
Like I'm scaling down all of like the proficiency, the stats, and my HP, but I'm keeping the toolkit. We're
It's
fighting.
also nice to see both DMs fighting each other at the same time.
This is what they were waiting for.
So, yeah.
That's
Yep,
12.
I-
Battle.
12 psychic damage. He will take that as well.
Once I heard you were DC 34, I'm like, all right, we're gonna rumble.
And Larlock, the spell like sort of explodes in his hand, and he says, "Curse you!"
Yeah, but you didn't plan for that. As I'm falling.
And he's just gonna look at you and be like, "Bet you didn't plan for that either." And we move on to Peridot.
You know, Larlock, the beautiful part about being a pack of idiots is you tend to obtain idiotic things.
Oh, are you? Oh no.
Let's see here. And I got...
Wait. Explain what you're doing before we get the roll.
Well, I have my heavy crossbow drawn,
Uh-huh.
and I have my masterwork crossbow bolt equipped with a certain magical item.
I think I remember this was a plan that was offered to you at some point by your former friend Felix.
Yeah, great plan, Felix, wherever you are. Felix, I hope it feels good to be hoisted by your own petard. And I rolled a 17, and I think that equates to a 28 to hit.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Yep.
And well, let's roll
Jack
for
gets
damage
his
too.
revenge for Clippy.
Let's roll for damage too. Why not?
Let's get the damage
it's,
first.
5 damage. I mean, not
The physical damage. Then the spiritual
not
damage.
great for the damage, but yeah. Just to make it clear, that was the bolt equipped with Let me look at my notes. What's that called again? Oh yeah, the clip of annoyance. And
The bolt
that looks like a hit.
The bolt harmlessly strikes Larlock as he is immune to non-magical piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing damage.
Didn't he say that was
However-
the masterwork bolt, though?
It is the masterwork bolt.
It is
The
a
bolt
masterwork.
itself-
The bolt itself is the weapon it was fired from is not. So I guess that is a
All right.
subjective question. But, while it may not have done any measurable damage to pierce, whatever magical protections Larlock has in place, the clip does make contact with Larlock.
Interesting.
And
Does
then
he appear annoyed?
The clip disappears once it does make contact with Larlock. Just goes poof.
Beautiful. Love to see it.
Larlock looks down at you and says, what's this? You've made it this far and still don't have a magical crossbow, little gnome? Pathetic. And then suddenly, a poof, and a much larger clip appears over the shoulder of Larlock, appropriately scaled to match his large size. The clip appears a little bit larger than it did when it appeared over your shoulder. And it says, "It looks like you're trying to steal and imprison Vecna so that you could go plot out your evil schemes for the rest of all eternity. Would you like some help with that?" And that's what we're going to call this episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. Sorry, Jarrell, we will get to your turn.
Oh, I have faith.
But I felt like that was a really good place to sort of just cap this one off, as we've done our time here, and well, no one was expecting the mid-episode, mid-combat DM swap.
Hot swap. Hashtag hot swap.
Before I outro and do the thing we normally do, I just want to say, I DM'd Dave, when after we had recorded the last episode, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, I have an idea, and you can take it or leave it. But remember that deal that we made with the whole Felix and his patron, and if he dies, and well, Felix is actively dying with really no hope to live. Well, what if that deal, was completed in the fact that this wish, made Vecna good? Well, what would be evil?
I'm so happy that we found out what the fuck is up with Felix in this way. This is so. This feels so satisfying to me.
Yep.
I have to say, Felix isn't home anymore. R.I.P. Felix. I loved you. You were great.
But his plans live on.
But were they his plans? I guess we'll find out next time. Until then, if you like us, you can find us on the internet. We are on such places as Twitter, Instagram, and all those other things. We're not super active on those things, as social media is just kind of a dumpster fire these days. So really, we encourage you to look at our social media for a pinned post or other information in the description or something, or even in the show notes, and grab that invite link to our Discord server, where we do the majority of our interacting and socializing with our fans and talking about this episode and other episodes. We have like spoiler tag discussions. We have all different kinds of things going on in there, and we'd encourage you to be part of our large and growing community there. It's a really cool place to hang out, and you can find that link, like I said, anywhere on our existing socials. Just look for us at Hapless Heroes. And that'll have a link to join our Discord server, which is a great place to come meet, interact, and chat with all of us. But now, listen, if you really, really like us, we'd love it if you left us a review on the podcast service of your choice. Are reviews even a thing of the past now? I don't know. I don't even know what podcast service offers reviews anymore, but if they do, we'd love to see your words. And hey, if your podcast service doesn't let you leave a review, well, we have a 5-star channel in that aforementioned Discord server where you can say some nice things about us, and we'll acknowledge you right here on the air, just like I'm about to do right now for our user Sparky in our Discord, who said, well, it only took me about 3 years to finally get caught up to the newer episodes, and I only have 4 left before I finish. I just want to say thank you for giving me such joy while I'm at work. It really makes my day just fly by listening to your group play D&D, and it truly makes me want to give it a go. 5 stars for the Hapless Heroes. Well, Sparky, listen up here. You are also a 5-star human. Thank you for your kind words. We hope this was worth the all the time you spent listening. We've got other people who've just joined, who've been saying that they've been binging our shows. So thank you for sharing this with us. Thanks for enjoying the show, and we think you're great too. Now, if you really, really, really like us, I would encourage you to donate to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/HaplessHeroes. All the money you donate goes right back into the show, and we have a whole bunch of different great rewards available to you, starting right there at the $5 tier, which gives you access to the majority of our content. We have episodes that are non-D&D related. We call them our Between Two episodes, where we just kind of pick a topic and riff on it. We have some behind-the-scenes audio, like bloopers and things like that. We have old episodes that never made it to air, like back from the early days. We have a whole bunch of stuff. We would encourage you to come check it out. And yeah, just, if it's worth your hard-earned money, please donate. It's just the price of a cup of coffee every month for so much bonus content.
And if you like us, right now, you like us, Sally Field, and the whole deal, do a little dance, make a little love, and get down? No, come on down. That's right. Become a contestant on The Price is Right. Show up, bribe a higher up, a producer, whatever you have to do, and come on down, whatever your name is, to the lecterns of The Price is Right. And when they show you that hibachi grill, when they show you that Stairmaster or Thigh Miner, wager your bet, or whatever you do, make your bid, and guess that it costs Hapless Heroes Podcast and $1.
That is amazing guerrilla marketing right there.
Yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
That's CBS, baby. That's network broadcast television.
Also, tell me more about this thigh miner. It sounds more painful, but less work.
You're gonna have to just get on Price is Right to find out.
Well, I guess that settles it. So there's nothing left for me to do now. Yeah, that's me, Francesco, to outro, but outro this cast for you, starting on, let's just say, my virtual left with Dave playing Vecna.
Good night, everybody.
Mike is Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
Always at my service.
Nicole is Boris the Butcher.
Oh,
Nice. Wow.
That's loud.
Wow. Zach as Paradil and Pregnart.
Sweet, sweet revenge. Truly a dish served best cold.
A dish served best cold, yes.
Shut up, Fran.
And
Quit nitpicking my syntax or you'll get another clip.
and John as Lord Jarrell the Light and Dr. Dudu.
Until next time.
And I'm Francesco. That's right. I really have been your host and DM this whole time. This has all been part of my master plan. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.